Good evening, seekers of the truth. Welcome back to the Observatory of the Elite, the archive of the untold, and the only channel that dares to dissect the anatomy of a celebrity crisis while the wound is still fresh. You are watching Mr. Magazine, and I am your guide through the glittering minefield of fame. Tonight, we are not discussing a rumor. We are not discussing a fleeting romance. We are documenting a seismic event. A night in Milan that will be remembered as the moment the tectonic plates of the European entertainment industry shifted irrevocably. We are talking about Yaman, a mysterious figure named Sar Bloomer, and a declaration of war that has left the tabloids breathless. But before we step onto this battlefield, I have a crucial request for our growing legion of insiders. If you value journalism that refuses to bow to PR pressure, please destroy that subscribe button and activate the notification bell. We are building a fortress of truth here. For those who wish to stand on the front lines with us, the join button is your weapon. By becoming a member, you gain exclusive access to our inner circle and help us keep the lights on in this studio. Your likes and comments are the ammunition we need to fight the algorithm, so please, let your voice be heard below. Now, brace yourselves. We are going to Milan, where the red carpet has turned into a war zone. December 2025. Milan. The fashion capital of the world was already vibrating with the anticipation of the winter gala season. It was supposed to be a night of celebration, a convergence of cinematic titans and fashion deities under the frescoed ceilings of one of Italy's most prestigious palazzas. The champagne flowed like water, the flashbulbs created a stroboscopic lightning storm, and the air was thick with the perfume of exclusivity. However, beneath the veneer of sophistication, a storm of a different kind was brewing, a personal hurricane that would soon make landfall. Yaman, the Turkish deity who has conquered the Italian peninsula with the precision of a Roman general, arrived with his customary aura of impenetrable calm. For years, Yaman has curated an image of stoicism. He is the gentleman, the professional, the star who smiles but never reveals his hand. But on this fateful night, the mask did not just slip, it shattered. Witnesses described the atmosphere shifting the moment Yaman's path intersected with that of Sar Bloomer. The encounter, reportedly accidental yet cosmically inevitable, acted as the spark in a room filled with gasoline. According to multiple sources who stood aghast within earshot, Yaman abandoned the diplomatic silence that has been his trademark for a decade. His voice, usually a velvety baritone used to charm, hardened into a weapon of mass destruction. I'm opening a new chapter in my life. Don't you dare get in my way. The sentence hung in the air, heavier than the chandeliers above. It was not a request, it was an ultimatum delivered with cold, terrifying determination. The tension escalated with such rapidity that the organization's security team, men trained to handle overzealous fans, not warring celebrities, had to intervene, quietly forming a human wall to prevent the verbal altercation from becoming a physical scandal. To understand the ferocity of this outburst, we must peel back the layers of the months leading up to this night. This was not a lover's quarrel. This was a professional execution. International investigative journalists have been connecting the dots, and the picture that emerges is one of high-stakes corporate espionage disguised as career ambition. The accusation at the heart of Yaman's fury is opportunistic interference. It is alleged that Sar Bloomer, a figure rising in the modeling world and eyeing a transition to cinema, had been maneuvering behind the scenes to attach herself to the very projects Yaman has spent years cultivating. We are talking about major European action franchises, projects that require not just talent, but immense physical preparation, negotiation, and trust. From Yaman's perspective, Bloomer's attempts to cast herself in these productions were not seen as legitimate auditioning, but as a parasitic attempt to ride his coattails. He viewed it as a betrayal of the highest order, a violation of the unwritten rule that personal history should never be leveraged for professional gain. The phrase, "Don't you dare cross my path," was thus deciphered by industry analysts not merely as a romantic rejection, but as a professional red line. It was a cease and desist order issued not by a lawyer, but by the man himself, in front of the entire industry elite. In the immediate aftermath of the gala, the conflict migrated from the red carpet to the boardroom. The Milan crisis, as it is now being called, has triggered a representation war. Leaked internal communications from top-tier talent agencies in Rome and Istanbul reveal a state of high alert. Crisis management teams have been mobilized. The primary directive? Segregation. Protocols are being drafted to ensure that Yaman and Sar Bloomer never breathe the same air again. We are hearing reports of exclusivity clauses being demanded by Yaman's camp. Legal stipulations that would contractually prevent him from appearing in any project, event, or campaign that also involves Bloomer. This is a scorched earth policy. It effectively forces producers to choose: you can have the superstar Yaman, or you can have the rising Sar Bloomer. You cannot have both. In the brutal mathematics of the entertainment industry, this is a move designed to suffocate the opponent's opportunities. I must pause this intense recounting to ask you, the jury of public opinion, is Yaman justified in using his power to block an ex-partner from his projects? Is this protecting his boundaries, or is it an abuse of power? Where is the line between professional protection and personal vendetta? I want to see your debates in the comments section. And if this level of detailed reporting is what you crave, please consider clicking the join button. Your support allows us to dig deeper into these shadow wars. The fallout from this event has created a fascinating dichotomy in the public perception of Yaman. For years, his brand has been built on the archetype of the perfect gentleman, accessible yet respectful, strong yet kind. This outburst challenges that narrative. Image analysts are divided. One camp argues that this display of raw power damages his brand, painting him as controlling and volatile. They argue that a true star ignores the noise rather than confronting it. However, a growing faction of supporters sees this as a necessary evolution. They interpret his actions as the ruthless protector, a man who has realized that in the shark tank of show business, kindness is often mistaken for weakness. By drawing this hard line, he is signaling that he is no longer a passive participant in his own life, he is the director, and he will cut any actor who goes off script. And what of Sar Bloomer? It would be a mistake to underestimate her resolve. Sources close to the model report that while she was deeply shaken by the public humiliation in Milan, she has no intention of retreating into the shadows. Rumors suggest she is assembling a war council, a new public relations team specializing in conflict management. The strategy? To flip the narrative. There are whispers, dangerous, unverified, but persistent, that Bloomer possesses sensitive information regarding Yaman's upcoming projects. Whether this is leverage for a settlement or ammunition for a leak remains to be seen. Furthermore, she is reportedly pivoting her strategy geographically. Sightings of Bloomer traveling between London and Paris suggest she is seeking independent European productions, effectively trying to build a fortress outside of Yaman's sphere of influence. Her silence in the press is not empty, it is strategic. As the saying goes, never interrupt your enemy when he is making a mistake. She may be waiting for Yaman's aggression to turn the public against him. The ripples of this conflict have reached the financiers. Italian producers and co-investors are terrified. A feud of this magnitude is a liability. A film set cannot function if the two leads are engaged in a Cold War. Consequently, a silent embargo has descended. It is claimed that the morning after the Milan gala, at least 3 major production companies sent preliminary agreements to both camps stipulating strict non-participation rules. This effectively formalizes the separation. The industry is building a firewall between them to prevent the entire system from crashing. We have reached what celebrity sociologists call the point of no return. Yaman's statement, "I will not pay the price of the past with my future," is the manifesto of this new era. It is a declaration that he is willing to burn the bridge, the river, and the landscape behind him to ensure his forward momentum is unimpeded. This story has transcended the genre of the breakup gossip. It has transformed into a saga of ego, power, and the devastating intersection of private heartbreak and public ambition. It is a war of attrition. Yaman has the high ground of stardom, but Sar Bloomer has the unpredictability of the underdog. As we look toward the next international event, be it Cannes, Venice, or another gala in Milan, the tension is palpable. The boundaries are drawn in blood and ink. Two names that were once whispered together in romantic speculation are now the opposing generals in a battle for survival. This crisis serves as a dark mirror to the entertainment world, reflecting the harsh truth that when love dies under the spotlight, it doesn't just fade away, it explodes. And so, the curtain falls on the Milan crisis, but the war is far from over. We are witnessing a game of chess played with human lives and multi-million-dollar contracts. Who will blink first? Will Yaman's dominance hold, or will Sar Bloomer find a way to breach his defenses? We will be watching every move, decoding every statement, and bringing you the truth from the front lines. Before you go, I want to hear your verdict. Whose side are you on? The star protecting his legacy, or the newcomer fighting for her place? Let me know in the comments. And remember, if you found this deep dive investigation worthy of your time, the best way to support Mr. Magazine is to click that join button. It gives you a special badge, priority in our discussions, and helps us keep the truth alive. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your fellow drama enthusiasts. Until the next headline breaks, keep your eyes open and your standards high. This is Mr. Magazine, signing off.